After the previous video of getting to know plants in which I had given you a brief introduction, I am sure you would be looking forward to and waiting for the chapter to be continued. So, today I am going to tell you about the root system and the shoot system, which are the basic two systems in case of a plant. Now, whenever we look at a plant, as you can see in the diagram, there are two parts in which we can divide the plant broadly. तो हम कौन से दो हिस्से देखते हैं प्लांट के? एक वो हिस्सा देखते हैं, एक वो पोर्शन देखते हैं which is below the soil, and there is another part of the plant which is above the soil. So जो नीचे का हिस्सा है that is known as the root system, and the part of the plant which is growing above the ground is known as the shoot system. Looking at the root system, we definitely would like to know the different parts of this root system. Root system जो है that is the system of the plant or that portion of the plant which is growing underground, means below the ground, ground के नीचे. तो अगर आप देखते हो तो आपको दो तरह की root systems दिखाई देते हैं. Some of the plants, what are they doing? They are growing straight as far as the roots are concerned. उनकी roots बिल्कुल सीधी grow करती हैं. एक single root है, as you can see in the diagram, that the single root is going deep into the soil, and there are small lateral roots, or primary roots is the one which is growing in the center. It has got the secondary roots on the sides. They have further branches which are known as the tertiary roots, and finally it has got the small root hairs. Why? Because they have to absorb water. तो जितना ज़्यादा प्राइमरी सेकेंडरी टर्शरी रूट्स होंगी, जितना ज़्यादा रूट हेयर होंगे, उतना वाटर एब्जॉर्प्शन ज़्यादा होगा, and as a result of which it will help in the photosynthesis by the plant. Now another type of the root, again as you can see in the diagram, they are known as the fibrous roots. अब ये जो सारे roots हैं, इस केस में क्या है कि there is no central root. There is no main root which is going deep inside the soil. They all are roots nearly of the same thickness. They are growing in the form of a cluster, and they arise from the same point, and they are equally long. So it is kind of a cluster, and that is why it is known as a fibrous root. So it is very much clear from the diagram how these fibrous roots look like. Now a very simple way to remember कि कौन सा plant है जिसकी taproot होगी और कौन सा plant है जिसकी fibrous root होगी. This you can make out even from the leaves. Now leaves, as I told you already, they have got venation, जिसमें parallel venation है होती है, as you can see in the diagram. तो पैरेलल वेनेशन अगर ऊपर लाइंस कम हैं तो नीचे लाइंस ज़्यादा होंगी. नीचे मीन्स रूट्स ज़्यादा होंगी. Same way on the other hand, in case there is a reticulate venation in which there are a group of the veins which are forming a network or they are forming a mesh, in that case the roots are comparatively lighter and lesser. So it is a taproot in that case. So this is how we remember which plant will have a taproot and a fibrous root. Example of the taproot is, for example, turnip is there, radish is there, carrot is there. So they are generally the taproots. So as far as the fibrous roots are concerned, a simple example is your corn is there, rice is there, wheat is there, and also grass. Now we know the structure of the roots, we also know the types of the roots. So let's discuss the function of the root. So very important function is, now we know that the roots are growing under the ground. So it is with the help of these roots that the plant is kept firmly anchored in the soil. So the main function of the roots is anchorage of the plant in the soil, and the second is, so the water has to go to the leaves for the process of photosynthesis. Water कहाँ है? Water is in the soil. So soil में से water कौन ऊपर भेजेगा leaves में? Roots भेजेंगे leaves में, will be conducted or it will reach the leaves. So these were two main functions of the roots. In addition, there is another function, that is storage of food. Sometimes some roots also store food. If you have seen carrot, you have seen radish, you have seen turnip. So they are all storing food. So now we know that there are three functions of the root. First is anchorage, second is absorption of the water and the minerals, and the third is storage of food. Now coming to the shoot system. Shoot system, remember children, is the one which shoots up. Shoots up means it is the part which is growing above the ground. Now if you have seen a seed, so the seed, it germinates. Germinates means it starts growing into a seedling. So you would have seen that there is a small structure which comes out of the seed and it starts growing up. This small structure is known as the plumule, and this plumule later on forms the stem. So now that I'm talking about the plumule, let's also just mention about the structure that gives rise to the root. That is the radicle which comes out of the seed and it grows down inside the ground. Now this stem, it is bearing the important parts of the plant which are all aerial. Aerial means they are growing above the ground. So what are these different parts? As you can see in the diagram, we can see the leaves, we can see the flowers, we can see the fruits. All these are very, very important, and leaves, I have already told you that they are very important parts as they are the kitchen of the plant and they are performing the function photosynthesis. So now that we know the structure of the stem, also remember that there are small structures which are known as the nodes from where these leaves and the branches grow, and the distance between the two nodes is known as the internodes. What are the functions of the stem? Now, the stem is a part of the plant which is growing straight. S for stem, S for support. So, stem is supporting the plant. It is helping the plant to stand absolutely erect. Now, another thing is, it is like a pipe. Pipe means that it is helping to conduct something, to transport something. And what is it conducting? It is conducting water and minerals which were absorbed by the roots. They have to reach the leaves. How will they reach the leaves? They will reach the leaves with the help of the pipes which are there in the stem. So these were the functions of the stem. So just like the roots, it is also performing an additional specialized function which is known as the storage of food. And the example of stems which are storing the food are potato, ginger, sugarcane. They are storing food. Now at times in the desert plants, as in the case of the cactus, these stems are performing another specialized function. They are performing the process of photosynthesis. Because in desert plants, the leaves are reduced to form spines. Why? So that they do not lose water by the process of transpiration. We all know desert में पानी कम है and the plant cannot afford to lose water through the process of transpiration. So what happens? Leaves जो हैं they are reduced to form spines, और leaves का जो function है photosynthesis वो कौन perform कर रहा है? The stems. So the stems, they are green in color in case of these plants and they are performing the process of photosynthesis. Now finally, just to sum up, let's just discuss the differences between the root and the stem once again. So if we take the functions of the root and the stem, now we know the function of the root are anchorage, absorption of the water and the minerals and sending them to the stem, and last is to store food. Now in case of the stem, the main functions are the support of the plant and the various aerial parts of the plant. Second is to conduct the water and the minerals that are being absorbed by the roots and sent up so that they can reach the leaves. Third, they also are performing the function of storage of food, and lastly, they may perform photosynthesis at times. As far as another difference is concerned is, the stem is multicellular, whereas the root or the root hairs, they can be unicellular. So these are some of the differences between the root system and the shoot system, in addition to the basic difference that the roots are growing underground and the shoots are growing above the ground. So students, I am sure that as far as the root system and the shoot system are concerned, you won't be having any doubts in your mind, and in case you want to know something more, kindly comment in the comment box given below. So stay connected with me for the other topics of the same chapter, Getting to Know Plants of class 6th. Thank you so much, students.